and we want to watch it later on. So, but first language I learned is definitely not ours. First language I learned was SAS, which was popular at that time. But I would say that, Ireland passed on these languages are very much popular as of right now. And I just want to show you a random, job position, which I found a few days ago when I was having, this summer class for my students. And you see, this is my finance position, available at Disney, and it's a revenue. The job title is revenue management analyst. And in addition to the college degree, this job position also asks students, also requires some knowledge or skills in SQL, Python, R, or maybe some other programming languages, and maybe a little bit Tableau and SAP. So that being said, again, so I think is it a personal investment or let's say stock investment? It's also my personal interest, and that's why I think I try to cover a little bit, every time I teach, different classes, understand, my intro level class students, maybe some of you are interested, but you just barely heard about the programming, or maybe you are interested, but you don't know how to get started. So that being said. Now let me start introducing this our meetup group, and then I will also show you the work we'll be doing today. So let me probably just show you the work we'll be doing today. And also I publish this on my GitHub website, and you will see exactly what you'll be doing in the next 30 minutes, okay? Or maybe it's 40 minutes, okay? So you come here to my GitHub website and the tutorial which I created, not from scratch, but almost from scratch, is posted here. We will cover briefly two different tutorials today. If we have more time, we will probably do, both of them. But we will focus on first one first, okay? So that being said, this first tutorial is named G-Trends Stocks TXT, and I have the TXT file because usually the TXT file allows you to actually, let's say, let's say, copy the syntax easily. So you can, copy and paste it to the, the program interface or the workstation or the working environment you'll be using. Okay. So that being said, this is just everything you'll be using for the first tutorial. The second one is something very interesting because this year, everybody was talking about NVIDIA. And I actually did something, again, I'm not a finance, I do not have finance background, but I know some basic finance knowledge. I'm also doing personal investment. And I figured maybe, I need to understand what's going on behind Apple and maybe some other stocks, let's say NVIDIA. And the metric I was using is a Sharpe ratio, okay? Which means, if you Google search, it just shows you like the risk return rate for stocks. And I want to see the annual risk return rate for Apple and also annual risk return rate for NVIDIA. So imagine if you want to enter market, you wouldn't want to enter, random time. You want to probably, I think it's also hard to time in the market. And I think when I did this analysis, I was thinking maybe it's possible to actually time the market somehow. And I will show you why and also show you the result. And based on this, let's say 65-line syntax, you can actually capture, calculate Sharpe ratio for both these stocks, and then publish on your own website, or maybe get a result in a few seconds. You can actually do some more complex technical analysis on your own as well, okay? So that being said, this is the second one, which I'm going to share with you in the chat. So, you get both of these, TXT files, and then I will briefly introduce the syntax line by line, and then you will also have opportunity to execute or to launch your workbook or probably to run the syntax on your own as well, okay? And then definitely, we'll publish everything for free. So I assume, at this stage, you are probably just barely get started or maybe are interested. So, I will try to slow down. As the platform we're using is our Studio Cloud, and we also share with you the link in the chat. And definitely, I want to make sure I show you the the complete process. And give me just 1 second. So here, let's say I already log in. If you are a first-time user, and you probably need to go to our Studio Cloud, and then, let's say, and then, create an account. And for you to create an account, it just takes 1 minute, okay? And if you ever use, our Studio Cloud, congratulations. I hope you found it to be useful because it's super user friendly. Although our actually recently launched different interface or work environment, I still think our Studio Cloud will have a space in the future. Okay, so if you're a first time user, please sign up so you can have a free plan. And you as long as you use it for less than like like, let's say 25 hours per month, you should be able to use it for free forever. Okay, so you can click learn more and then, sign up here. Usually you just use a Gmail account. Okay, Gmail account. I usually don't use my work email. I use my Google account, Gmail, personal email account. Okay, once you sign up, you are going to log in. So sign up process may take you maybe, probably, you know, um, 30 seconds. I will pause maybe for 30 seconds. If you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, I try to pause and so you can sign up. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know or raise your hand. Okay. So the next step, we are going to log in. And usually you have quite a few options, okay? And if I were you, I'd just use my Google account, okay? I have my GitHub account. I will log in with my GitHub account, which is a little bit more user friendly, okay? And let's say again, yeah, let me send you both of these tutorials again. So I send the first second one is Sharpe ratio, for to calculate Sharpe ratio. The first one is for to get Google Trends and stock data from Yahoo Finance. Okay, so again, so we'll do the first tutorial first. Again, I expect to finish both of them maybe in 30 minutes, hopefully. And I'm gonna log in with my GitHub account. But if you have a Gmail account, and that's probably a user option as well. So that being said, see here, once you log in, this is probably the interface how it looks like. And usually the best options, the easiest options to just click, new project on the upper right corner, right? And then, you're gonna select the second option, new RStudio project, okay? I'm sure you probably read many articles about ChatGPT. Definitely, I think for basic things in coding or programming, you can definitely use ChatGPT as your personal assistant or coding assistant, which is which is great because many times, you can ask ChatGPT to explain, let's say, one-line syntax, or let's say one paragraph syntax. So I'm just click, RStudio project, and then, let's say the next step you see here, I'm going to go back to my workbook, okay, which I already shared with you in the chat. I'm going to send you again. It's named G Trends Stocks TXT, okay, G Trends Stocks TXT. I will send you in the chat again. Make sure you have it. And then, let's say I'm going to briefly show you how we can get it done in, let's say, 10 to 15 minutes, regardless of background. Okay. So you see the first step, we are going to click a file. And the reason is that, we want to use this, work environment to write our own syntax, okay? But I try to make your work easier. So you can just pretty much go there, copy my syntax, but I try to make sure you do some brief, changes so you can actually analyze the stock you are interested, okay? So you click a file, new file, as in R script, okay? R script. So this is now the interface. Let me repeat again. File, new file, R script, okay? R script instead of R Markdown. R Markdown, you can create, a HTML web page to get it published. I think our script, it helps you to understand what you have been doing step by step, okay? Especially if you want to do some real-time coding, okay? So that being said, now, we are going to go to my workbook, my GitHub website here, which I send you in the chat. And then I'm gonna copy everything in the, and copy everything here from line 1, okay? You see from line 1 to line 34, okay? From line 1 to line 34. And then, I'm going to do some brief introductions and make sure you understand what we are doing, okay? So you see here, basically, I think we can delete, line number 4, line number 5. Basically, these lines were something I used for when I was setting up my working directory, okay? But basically here, let's say, you are trying to understand, let's say, this company using the keyword e-commerce, okay? But as I mentioned, we want to see if we can analyze the stock we are interested, right? So let's say I'm going to go to Yahoo Finance, and I find a random Yahoo Finance ticker, or stock ticker. Let's say I'm going to use NVIDIA, NVDA, okay? NVIDIA, which is a perfect, stock ticker for NVIDIA. And that being said, again, you can use like a Word document, a TXT file to replace, this original ticker with a new one. But let's say I'm just going to do manually, because I think that sometimes, slowing down really helps you think, okay, what's going on here? What I'm doing, what can I do better? Okay, so I'm just going to replace it manually. That's NVDA. Make sure you understand it's NVDS with stock ticker NVDA. Okay, NVDA here. You can make a copy as well, so I just replace it manually. Okay, and then, let's say here the stock, tickers NVDA, see here, the symbol is NVDA, right? We name the data set as NVDA here. So make sure you replace every Amazon as NVDA, but you can keep the Amazon one. I just want to make sure, you understand. We want to do something a little bit different. So you understand, it can be a little bit tedious, but you hopefully understand, what you are doing. And it helps you see what you can do next time if you have a new situation, right? And I'm just going to copy the, the NVIDIA stock name. And then, let's say I'm going to now use a Google search query. This is why I mentioned, using this R syntax interface is better. So I'm going to use AI because the last 2 years, every time you heard about NVIDIA, people are talking about AI technology, okay? So I'm going to use AI, and G-Trends R is a different package for us to get data from Google Trends for free and in a few seconds, right? So that being said, now let me give you an overview of this package. The first package we are going to use is Quantum Mode. You can get to official document by doing Google search, or maybe go to ChatGPT. So if you do Google search, you see Quantum Mode have a website. This is one of the most powerful packages for, financial modeling, okay? So that being said, we just use the basic function. Well, some of the basic functions, you see Quantum Mode. I think, as I mentioned, I want you to slow down so you can see what's going on each step, okay? So you see, I'm going to click packages here on the lower right side, okay? And then install, click install. If you just want to keep it simple, just use MZN, which is Amazon. So you don't need to change anything. Otherwise, it can be confusing. So again, you see here, I'm going to install the first package. Don't change anything. Quant mode, packages, click install, okay? And then you see here, it will take maybe a few seconds for this package to be installed. Congratulations, you see the whole process finished in 10 seconds. The second one we want to install is G-Trends R, which is a package we use to scrap Google Trends data for free. Again, similarly, you can Google search G-Trends R, and it's powerful package for you to get, Google Trends data for free in a few seconds. Or sometime if you use let's say you use the desktop version, it takes way less time. okay? And the third one we're gonna use is ggplot2. ggplot2. You see, you click install again, and sometimes it can be slow, but it's okay. And then you see here, you copy and paste it here. I click install. Again, you may encounter some errors. That's okay. It's part of learning process. The more errors you encounter, the better you'll be learning. Okay. So next one, you see we get symbol, and then let's say the source, right? Source will be Yahoo, right? And then starting date and minus last 5 years, right? And the two system date, which is today. Okay. So this is from two, right? From the last 5 years ago to today's date. Okay. And then we are going to build a data frame, which is like a data set, okay, in Excel. And then, the data frame, we are going to name it NVIDIA and NVDA. And then, let's say we are going to use, also as data function to, to build the date column, okay? And then we are going to see the data, how the data set, how it looks like. And then we're going to build a simple plot. And then we're going to build a ggplot, which is a different way to visualize variables. And then I think I want to show one more fancy thing at the end if you are interested, okay? Which is probably something you have never used, and hopefully, and I think it really changes the way we visualize data, okay? So let's run the whole thing. You see here, I think this is just a very basic ggplot, right? I think you can search, ggplot template, and then you can write this, you can write this function. So it's basically we are going to build a line plot with the data set NVDA. And then there's a AES function, we use the X variable, which is date. And then we build a line graph, right? Line graph. And then we have a dependent variable, and then AES function again. And then similarly, we build, the ggplot for Google Trends data, okay? So now let's run the first 10 lines. So we get the data set. We can also see how the data set looks like line by line, okay? So let's click run. First 11 lines, okay? So I think we got the error, so I apologize. And I think we need to install a different package for this step. Give me 1 second. We need to install a different package. Yeah, which is something I already pre-installed in my desktop version. I think I need to resend it to you guys in the chat. Okay, give me 1 second. So this package you'll be using will be I will send you guys in the chat, and it should take you just 1 minute to install it. And give me 1 second. So this is one good thing of doing programming R. Basically, let's say many of these packages are pre-written. So, you just need to know how to use them and then make your job easier. But sometimes, when you use the web version, and, it actually may create, problems. So I'm going to reshare my screen again. And I think the package I missed is actually named the lubricate. Okay. So I'm going to repeat the same process. We don't need this package actually. So this package is named the lubricate. Okay. It helps you actually use a function named years. And without that function, we can't move forward. Okay. I already sent you the library information in the chat. You see here, same process. you are going to install this library, which will be duplicate, and click install, right? Same process. And we don't need to restart R. I just installed it directly. And then you see here, you run number 4 again. And then maybe, you can run just, 5 to number 12, right? 5 to number 12. So now we get the data. How to know that you actually got the data? So you can click, here, data under the environment, right? And then you see here we have open, let's say volume and also price, adjusted price, right? Everything from 2019 to today, right? To today, July 2nd, okay? July 2nd. So now, there's a different way to view your data. It's a function head, and then the name of the data set. Okay, let's do it step by step. You see, as you click head NVDA, we see the first 6 lines. Similarly, I think there's a different way. You can have tail NVDA, be last 6 lines, okay? It'll be, let's say, July 2nd, for the last 6 days, okay? And then we can build a simple plot, but it may not be good, okay? So you see, if we build a plot here, it doesn't look beautiful, right? It's a mess. That's why now, let's say we usually use ggplot because it gives us different options, okay? I will try to rerun this section, and then I try to show you how you can build your own function. Just, in like a few seconds. You click run, and then we are going to now show you, let's say, adjusted price for NVIDIA. But let's say you want to build a ggplot, a graph for different variable, and you are going to click head NVIDIA again, and try to copy that variable name. Let's say we want to have the NVIDIA's closing price, right? You copy the variable name, NVIDIA.closing, and then paste it here. Replace it with the Y variable we used before. And then we have ggplot, NVIDIA, and then whichever, this will show you the closing price, right? Closing price, okay? And then, let's say here, now, I think, as I mentioned, there's a simple trick, but at this stage, if you want to keep it simple, you can already get it published, right? You click publish, it takes you to a publication page. But let's say, I want to make my thing a little bit fancier, okay? And, but maybe we can do, as we finish every step, but let's do it here right now. ggplot, and you see here, we can, maybe we can do it later on as we finish every step, okay? So let's just publish this graph. You see, we click publish, right? We click publish, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to install these packages? Yes, because we want to publish for free. And, on the website, that's how we do it. Click yes, right? Click yes. And it should take you, maybe 25 seconds, drink some water, come back, and, maybe relax, stretch up, and then, it should be ready. And again, if you use desktop version, way much faster. Again, if you run the whole thing all in once, also way much faster. Do you want to install these packages now? Yes, definitely yes, right? Definitely yes. So now, again, so the reason I want to just publish this graph is that, let's say now we can see the picture on one single screen, right? I click RPubs, you see the first option because it's free. And then we click publish, right? I click publish. And then, see here now, there's a pop-up page. If you are a beginner, if you never used RPubs before, you can register, right? Click register. And then you see you enter your name, your email, personal email, username, password again, okay? And then click sign in, okay? Once you click sign in, you see here, you just need the username, and then password, right? And then click sign in. And then you see here, once you click sign in, I'm going to refresh because I already signed in, and I don't want to, register, okay? I sign in here. But if you are first time, make sure you create an account. I click sign in, and then I'm going to call it GG. Usually it's lowercase for ggplot, and this is a stock. I use NVIDIA, NVDA. Okay, I keep it short. I just use NVDA here, the last part, HTML address, NVDA, okay? I already use it as NVDA 1. Okay, now congratulations, your chart is published. How to know it? How to know that you already published your chart? And see, the result is here, right? So you can share, you can share this as a part of portfolio. And if, I have other workbooks published, but here, I really want to show the whole process. So here, for example, this is my portfolio page, and who say our pops for free. I have maybe more than 100, let's say workbooks available here. So next one, similar process. Let's say, now we want to get Google Trends data for this one. And we just want to, get, again, if you just want to use a base plot function, the plot will be, will not look good, right? So we probably want to use like, you see here, plot function, it plots everything, right? And it becomes a mess. But let's say we want to just plot one variable and we want to see what's going on. You see, hits, right? Hits. So hits here really represents, the verb, which is Google Trends, right? I think the X verb will be date, right? Will be date, which is, let's say first column, right? First column. So now we can visualize using ggplot because we can choose any variable we want to visualize. Y here is hits, will be hits, right? So let's just visualize, click run, and then publish, and then you can click publish, right? And then same process, click rpubs and click publish, right? And then you see here plot, and just, name it as hits, right? And maybe, you can be more specific, like, hits in the video, whichever. Keep it simple, okay? Now, congratulations, your second graph is ready. As I mentioned, there's a fancy way to do the third way, okay? So I want to show you briefly. So let's say, sometimes you really want to see what's going on. I want to send you that package in the chat, okay? So it's named, let's say, Plotly, okay? ggplotly, okay? So now, again, you can Google search. So it's named ggplotly, and it will make your chart fancier, okay? And if you want to know what's going on, here's the documentation, okay? ggplotly. And I want to show you how you can do some real-time coding in case you want to do something fancier, okay? Let's say now we can rename this graph, this way, okay? Rename as P, and then we want to recreate, a graph. I'm gonna copy and also repaste it in the chat. And then, let's say we want to do a ggplot, interactive plot, okay? I'll show you the big difference in just 1 second. But first step you see here, as I mentioned, we are going to use ggplotly. We want to install the package, right? Install package here, right? It's installed, and then, we are going to run the library, plot, ggplotly, okay? Run the library, just run by line, okay? Okay, the error, which is okay. And we want to maybe just go to the official documentation and see if everything's all right, right? ggplotly. And you see here, they have the original documentation. We just click, value these documentations and make sure, we use the right package name. I think, it's named plotly, sorry. Yeah, okay, instead ggplotly. The function itself named ggplotly, okay? So I apologize for any inconvenience. So that being said, the function we are going to install is plotly, okay? Install it. And then here again, so library plotly, we run it again. Okay, click run. Congratulations, we are almost there. Now, I think I'm going to enter it briefly. And you see here, I'm going to run the whole thing. All right. And you will see the change on the lower right corner. So congratulations. Now this is the interactive plot, which you can which allows you to see the ups and downs for each date interactively. You know, you can see the difference as you publish. So let's publish this, right? Let's publish. Again, you can change colors. And I think the documentation website really helps you understand what you can do better, okay? What you can do better. Again, ggplotly, I think this is still, I think, you know, relatively newer. And it's very popular in the industry. Some people, you know, build, you know, let's say packages or maybe, you know, build apps, you know, I think they use this ggplotly or plotly function, okay? So I think we probably already use NVIDIA 2. Okay, NVIDIA 2. Okay, so here this is actually our Google Trends graph, right? So we can show the, you know, ups and downs interactively, right? Again, there are definitely other ways to how you to combine these data sets and do some complex predictions. But you know, for today, we just keep it here. As in the second tutorial, I do it briefly as well because I know you know you guys are probably busy and we want to make sure we get it done. And the second one is Sharpe ratio, and I think I want to keep it simple. I'm not going to change anything. I just want to run it and then briefly do a short explanation. Okay. So you see here, you know, if you are with me right now, we are going to scrap, you know, data for Apple and let's say NVIDIA. Let's say, you know, you are interested in building a personal portfolio of two different stocks and you want to see which one's better. Imagine if you had time machine, it would be great, right? So let's say, again, new file, R script, okay? And the same process, right? We are going to have the second workbook and we want to paste it here. But let's say, you know, we don't want to share syntax with others. We just want to keep our own because it's not perfect yet. We just, you know, want to publish, you know, at this stage, you know, let's just, I finished everything. I'll do very short introduction. So let's say now first step, you get the data for, you know, Apple. Second step, you get data for NVIDIA. And then you also use a fancy function named a period return, which allows you to get yearly performance. At this stage, we want to get yearly Sharpe ratio for both of these stocks and then realize using the plotly function or ggplotly function, okay? We also rename it the P for our original graph and then we republish using ggplotly. We can do everything all in once in just 10 seconds, okay? Again, if you are here for extra credits, I mean, all right, my students, you can probably just do, you know, the either value these workbooks and then get it published. I mean, that's probably your ultimate goal and the rapid reflection. So let's run it, okay? Again, as I promised, the whole process should just take you now like a few seconds. You see, as I promised, that's exactly true, right? That's exactly true. So here, you know, let's say, I think, I hope we didn't get any error, but let's republish again. If we get any error, we can definitely, you know, redo it again. And, you know, I think we can ignore that warning, right? And so I think we get an error, okay? We get an error. So let's see if I could quickly fix this. If not, you know, we just, you know, let's say run the original one. And can't be a function. Data can't be a function. Let me step by the data argument. So let me double check. And at this stage, you know, I just want to make sure I slow down and make sure I'm doing everything all right. You see here, we have the Sharpe ratio for NVIDIA and Apple for each year, okay? You see NVIDIA in 2023, that was a perfect time to enter market because the Sharpe ratio for NVIDIA is 1.22, okay? Which is extremely good. So that means that also a Sharpe ratio for 2024 is also extremely good. But unfortunately, 2022, that year Sharpe ratio negative. If a Sharpe ratio negative, that's not a good time to enter market, right? But again, so if you look at also 2020, 2021, I think 2023, 2024, interestingly, both of these stocks have good Sharpe ratios. Maybe if you enter the market in 2020, 2021, or let's say 2023 or 2024, you should have very good return compare, when you compare your return against the, let's say SP 500, okay? Okay, let me do a simple, you know, uh, let me double check and see if something is wrong, okay? And hopefully I can fix it. And P, okay, library, I think GG plot P. Oh, yeah, you see here, unfortunately, I think when I slow down, maybe, I think I didn't run some of those functions. You see here, finally, I was able to get the final graph, which shows you the Sharpe ratio for Apple and NVIDIA. You see here, perfect time entry was probably sometime, let's say after, March or April in 2020 or 2023 for NVIDIA, right? Maybe, also in 2021 as well, okay? So you can Google search for Sharpe ratio. If it's higher than, if it's positive, it's good. If it's higher than 0.5, it's extremely good, okay? So that means that, you can use other metrics, but, I think a Sharpe ratio is something that is unique because you can calculate risk return rate. So to give you an overview, I think here you see here we use the period, which is yearly Sharpe ratio. So I still think, I want to show you something different. You see here, if I change this to monthly, okay? So see, this is like plain English language, okay? If I just, you see here, my data frame, I only have a few observations, right? Less than 5. If I change this to monthly and then rerun this, you're going to see that, the data set I'm going to get, which will be data 2, will only will include, let's say, more observations, which will be monthly Sharpe ratio, okay? I want to make sure I show you this step, okay? So data 2. Then you see data 2, and I want to make sure I show you data 2. Okay, so see, this will be Sharpe ratio for each month. Okay, but we want to use annualized, Sharpe ratio, because whenever we talk about returns, we talk about annualized returns, right? So annualized Sharpe ratio will make more sense. Okay, so that being said, again, we get this final Sharpe ratio. Let's publish this. We interactive plot. So you can observe, the Sharpe ratio for different time period. And, imagine if you a time machine, that'd be excellent. So you can, earn more money with this, with some of these stocks, right? Publish. And let's say, let's say we're going to here, name it, just, Sharpe ratio, and then, NVDA, DA versus, let's say, Apple, APP, I think, AAPL, right? APL. And I think I named here, I think I just named it Sharpe, okay? Okay, guys, and congratulations. This will be your second workbook. Again, so I think when I was preparing my, thing, I also did the SPY 500. I think you guys can do some minor experiments and see what's going on if you change it to SP 500, okay? So again, for my students, if you could, perform one of these workbooks, let's say maybe just a final one, and then, get it finished, publish, and then, send it like 150-word reflection, which will be posted on your Twitter, maybe LinkedIn page, or maybe, just send me a paragraph by email. And then maybe also your final workbook, you get, 1% toward your grade. But for any other people, again, thank you for your time. I appreciate. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I think maybe, again, I'm interested in personal investment. I'm also doing some investment myself. I'm also doing some option trading myself because I think, sometimes, imagine, so when you do option trading or doing financial investment, It's not easy. You just need to learn every day. And, if you guys are learning something new, you're welcome to actually probably become a speaker, at our meetup group. Again, Ireland Python, gives you unlimited potential for anything you want to learn. I think I found it to be fascinating because you can DIY pretty much everything. And finally, maybe one more thing, if you are still here with me, some of you maybe want to consider your building your website. I think this is something I did like a few months ago. So you can build not a decent website, but pretty much like a simple website. Uh, in like 20 minutes or 30 minutes using R as well. So I think I'm still trying to, improve it, but it's not perfect yet. And, so you guys may try to, yeah, so yeah, that's it for today. So I think thank you for your time. Yeah. Yeah, I have my LinkedIn page, so please keep in touch. Again, so my interest is in personal investment. Again, I took maybe more than 5 finance classes when I was in a PhD program. I also took many statistics and data science courses, and I'm still learning because if you do programming, every day is a new day, right? And every day you find something new to learn. And also, there are just so many people who are willing to share their GitHub page or anything. So, it's, you find, to be helpful when you join a community, right? When you share. Also, I think please consider sharing your knowledge or skill with us, even if you're a Python user, right? So you can convert your Python code to R and do Python first and then do R secondly. And then maybe we can do a next session, you can be our next speaker, okay? So this is my LinkedIn page. Again, I will also share recordings with all of you. And also I'll be staying in this meeting room for maybe more additional 20 minutes. If you have any questions, any ideas, and we can talk, okay? I will also send you the recordings. If you can send me an email, I can send you recordings. Yeah.
For your students, when would you like us to turn in the extra credit?
Yeah, I think if you can send it to me by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, that'd be great. Because,
Okay,
yeah, I hope that should be enough time, okay? Yeah.
like, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So
Thank
let
you.
me know if you want to stay in the meeting room so I can help you with anything individually, okay? So any questions?
No, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So any of you were able to finish your workbook or the chart, or the graph, and get it posted? If not, I think you can still stay here. I can help you individually. Otherwise, you guys are good to go. Yeah, so we can connect on LinkedIn, definitely. Yeah, please. Yeah.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you, Professor Shu.
Yeah, thank you. You have a great summer. Yeah, it was a great pleasure to have you.
Oh, I appreciate it. This is actually my last class, so I'm supposed to be graduating this summer.
Oh, yeah, congratulations. If you like money or counting other people's money, yeah, go for it. I think Ireland Python offers you unlimited potential.
Awesome. Sounds really good. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so much.
yeah, keep learning, and I think it will change your future. I guarantee.
I have
Okay,
a
any
question.
other question? Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
So when using data scraping, is there any way you could use like for Google Maps, scraping data from Google Maps with this?
Yeah, I think you mentioned excellent question. I do have a different workbook I built years ago,
Hmm.
and it's also free. And I think, I don't know what your ultimate goal is, but there's
So,
a there is a package named, Mapbox,
mhm,
and it's even better than Google Maps. I think it's here. Okay, it's here. So I think I have a very basic tutorial here, but I'm not a creator of this package Mapbox. So
mhm,
if you want to read the original, like, the documentation, it's here, Mapbox. And I think, let's say you can get, detailed map for any place for free, but you,
mhm.
you do need to have a username from their website. username and password. Okay.
Okay.
And then, you know, let's say you can even build apps with this Mapbox function package. You see here, let's say, you know, you want to build a map to you know, get to overview drive time around the certain locations, right? And you see here, you know, then you can actually build an interactive map. It shows you all the details, even street names, and you can zoom in and then, you know, see, let's say if you want to build a restaurant location, what's a ideal place, right? And they have more powerful functions, but this is just a very simple demo. Yeah.
Okay, because one thing I was, using recent, I've used a data scraper that I've paid for, just
Yeah.
searching for businesses that do or don't have websites, like maybe I could help them build it's for like freelancing. So maybe if
Oh, that's
there's
cool.
kind of
Yeah.
filter, like roofing businesses and see who has a terrible website or who could use one and kind of reach out to those, it'll have their website, their phone number, emails, stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know if we
think
could do that with this.
that's probably possible. And Mapbox, you know, they have excellent API and they have interface with multiple languages, I think including R and Python.
Mhm.
And definitely, you know, you can start for free. And I'm sure there are other options. You can definitely Google search other options. Yeah. But
Okay.
Mapbox is used by Yelp and many other big companies like Uber. So it's
Mhm.
reliable. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll look into that.
Yeah. Okay. It's a great pleasure to meet you, Chris. Thank you so
Yes, pleasure to
much.
meet you.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'll,
Yeah.
I'll join some of your other
Yeah. Or if you have something to
tutorials.
share, I mean, yeah. So yeah, please consider. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm still learning, so I'm not very confident enough to share, but I
Yeah.
appreciate
I
you
mean,
helping me.
I'm also learning. I mean, let's say for today's tutorial, I think I like money, so I just want to see, you know, if I can do time, you know, if I can time the market, right? So
Hmm.
imagine if I just learned this Sharpe ratio last few months. Imagine if I could have done this analysis 2 years ago, I would have definitely purchased a little bit more NVIDIA, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned earlier, the time machine, huh?
Yeah, exactly. And it's not hard to learn, to be honest. I mean, you know, imagine if you know the formula and also the theory and maybe some basic threshold and some basic, you know, functions,
Hmm.
right? And you
Yeah.
can get
Yeah.
started without any consulting, without using any you know, third-party agency, right? You can be your
Exactly.
personal agent, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just be careful with the options. That's all I gotta say.
Oh
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
hurt
I've
before.
heard last year I won some money last year when I was doing option trading, but this year I lost
Uh,
money. So I stopped doing option trading the last few months and you know,
yeah.
it's painful. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those things like you could be right on the direction, but wrong on the
Oh yeah.
timing and then
Sometimes you
lose it.
just become super lucky, right? It's like
Yeah.
playing blackjacks, you know, right?
Yep.
Sometimes
Yep.
sometimes awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give you a follow
Thank you
on
so
LinkedIn.
much.
I'll
Let's
stay
connect
connected
on
with you.
LinkedIn. So I think I'm keeping learning and I want to connect with people who are also learning.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you. Yeah. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Yeah.